And I'm back. I told you I would be. All right, so I'm going to do a couple of these with you for guided practice. And then you'll have some to do on your own on the next slide. And then, of course, you'll have your MOL. And if you notice, I've already given you points because you are going to have to plot some points. So I already gave you some, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's zoom in a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so now it says use the information below to create a table and determine the constant of proportionality. All right. It says a bike rider cycles 18 miles in 1 hour. Now, they told us right here that it's going to be proportional because they ask you to find K. So having said this right here, you can actually put in here if they have traveled no amount of time, then they have traveled no miles. So there is your origin. Okay. Now remember, when we are talking about this, that we don't use 0, 0 when we're looking about the constant of proportionality because you can't do 0 over 0. So we're looking at anything other than that. And before Christmas, I didn't give you any with starting with 0, 0, but just remember, I mean, it's common sense. If I haven't gone anywhere, if I haven't traveled any amount of hours, then I haven't gone any miles. So now you can start if you know it is proportional. Only if they tell you, which it did right here because it asked me to find the constant. So as soon as I see that, I know that it goes to the origin. So now I can go from there. So a bike rider cycles 18 miles in 1 hour. So now here's this. I have 1 hour and it tells me I go 18 miles. So that means that my ordered pair is going to be 118. Okay. Now, fixing my alignment. So now, because it's proportional, I don't know if you remember, but that means we go up by the same every single time. So my X goes up by the same and my Y goes up by the same. Now, do they have to be the same number between the two? No. So let's say I'm going up by 1 hour. So that means now I've gone 2 hours. Well, every hour I go 18 miles. So remember, we just add 18 to this, which gives me 36. So that means my next coordinate is 2 hours. I've traveled 36 miles. And you just keep doing that. Okay, so like I said, this should be review because we did do this before Christmas break. Just kind of flowed into it. So we went with it. All right, and so then you would need to plot the points that you get, which are over here. So remember, we're going to start at 0, 0. So right here. And then the next one would be at 118. And you decide what you want to go up by. All right, so if you want to do 118, if you want to just keep it, say this is 1 and this is 18 and do that, you can do that. This is all you. I will just look at it and see what you decided you wanted to do. All right, I'm just going to do 1 and then 18 every Y. So that's what mine would look like so far. And then your K right here, remember, you do Y over X. So 18 over 1, so it would be 18. And then remember that we are still looking at Y equals KX. So your equation would be Y equals, now our K is 18, so we plug that in, and then X, so 18X. Y'all did pretty good with that before Christmas, so this is just kind of a review. So now you would need to finish that. Now, over here, now we're looking, we don't know anymore. It says, compare the two graphs below. Jot down your observations in the table below. So what do we notice about these? And they tell you these are proportional. So what do we notice? They both go through the origin, check. They're both constant. This one goes up, so remember that's going to be a positive. This one goes down, so that's going to be a negative. But they're linear. Okay, those are all the things that we talked about in the instructional video. Now, look at here. They tell you these are non-proportional. Well, why are they non-proportional? Well, this one doesn't go through the origin. It is linear and it is constant, but it doesn't go through the origin. This one is none of those. It's not linear, it's not constant, and it doesn't go through the origin. So this is where you're looking. You've got to decide looking at your graphs. This one will be easy to say, no, that's not proportional. It's not even a line. This one over here is going to be a little more difficult if you don't remember the key rule for being proportional. It has to pass through the origin. I don't care if my elevator is going up or my elevator is going down. What I'm looking at is, does it pass through the origin? If it does, and it's a line, then it's proportional. If it's not, it can still be a line, but it's not proportional. Okay, so those are the kinds of things that you would put over here. And then looking on this page, this one's going to be all you. Okay, proportional relationships are linear. And we're going to put in this important piece, constant. And pass through the origin. Okay. Now, what you're going to have to do down here is you have to graph these points, which I gave you a bunch of points over here to graph. And you've got to decide, is it proportional, yes or no? So remember, what are we looking for? We are looking to see, does it pass through the origin? Does it have the same k? So remember, y over x. Okay, so those are the things that you are looking for when you are doing this. Then down here, they give you some information and you've got to decide which of these matches your information. And then over here, you've got to decide which of these pieces of information match the graph. So here you're matching the graph to the information. Here you're matching information to graph. So they just flip-flopped it on you. And then, of course, you have your MOL. Your MOLs are now in School City. It just makes it a little bit easier for me because I can pull from other things. I'm not making all of them myself. But it also breaks it down and it lets me see a little bit easier data-wise, so I can see where we're still struggling. I don't have to break it down myself like I did with the Google form. So you will go to School City and you will do your MOL. Okay. Each of these MOLs will pop up the day that they are assigned. So this one will be up Wednesday. Thursdays will be up Thursday, Fridays will be up Friday, and they close the day after. So you need to get it done, and I will not reopen them. So make sure that you are doing that. All right, so that's just a review of graphing and being able to tell if it's proportional or not. Tomorrow we're going to do some reminders of how to plug numbers in and things like that and start looking at information that is not proportional but is still linear. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.